and asking her to blow a balloon up and then let the air out of the balloon. And you wonder where this is going. It's just this innocuous little conversation. And then it goes somewhere completely unexpected.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, what about your air?
My air inside me?
Mm-hmm. What if you blow all your air out? Then you won't have any left, just like the balloon.
But people aren't like balloons, Daniel. When we blow air out, we get some more back in. Watch. I'll blow air out.
What does assassination mean?
Have you heard that word a lot today?
Yes. And I didn't know what it meant.
Well, it means somebody getting killed in a sort of surprise way.
That's what happened, you know. That man killed that other man.
I know, and a lot of people are talking about it right now.
Too many people are talking about it.
A lot of people are sad and scared about it, you know.
I'd rather talk about it some other day.
So that was the day after Bobby Kennedy's assassination.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to me that Fred Rogers would be so sensitive that he would think that even preschoolers would be part of the family dynamic where everybody was upset. And, you know, maybe parents wouldn't bother to explain anything to kids that young, but Fred Rogers thought they needed it. But that's just so unexpected to me, and I can't imagine any children's television program today daring to do that.
So, David, you brought another clip with you involving Fred Rogers. Mm-hmm. This is about the creation of public television.
Yeah, he was actually testifying before Congress, before John Pastore, who was the guy who had led the anti-violence TV hearings. And the question was whether or not the federal government was going to fund PBS to the tune of $20 million. And Fred Rogers went up to testify, and his show had been running for a year, and John Pastore had never seen it. But the more that Fred Rogers described it, and the more that Fred Rogers just acted like Fred Rogers, you know, the way he talked on TV was not an act and wasn't just for children. And again, it's something. This was a live telecast of a hearing by Congress, and it's just fascinating to hear.
Let's hear it.
I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years, I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes. And I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful, not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
What a beautiful clip.
I love it. I love it.
So let's just say that's Fred Rogers testifying at a congressional committee that was responsible for deciding whether to fund public television.
Yeah, and I love it because not only is Fred Rogers so honest and open and forthright, but so is Pastore. You know, I mean, to have a politician say, okay, I love this, I have goosebumps, and then you just earned the money. You know, I don't know if it's just a different era or if that was a different feeling, but it's why I love that.
And public television was indeed funded, and shortly after it was funded, Sesame Street premiered on it.
Yes, and so it's all, you know, partly due to that clip, to that poem, to that song.
If you're just joining us, my guest is our TV critic, David Bianculli, and he has a new book called The Platinum Age of Television, From I Love Lucy to The Walking Dead, How TV Became Terrific. Let's take a short break here, and then we'll talk more about TV.
Okay, thanks.
This is Fresh Air.
This is WAMU 88.5. It's 3:17 now. Coming up tonight from 6 to 6:30 on Marketplace. President-elect